Spoilers! In The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, a particular flower makes an appearance, one that hasn't appeared elsewhere in Zelda. It's called the Silent Princess. It's a flower with magical properties that is very rare due to it being incredibly endangered. Zelda has mentioned that no matter what they've tried, these flowers are unable to grow in domestication, and they will only live in the wild. In the wild, huh? This flower is important enough that it's on the logo to the game. It only lives in the wild, thanks to the breath of the wild, perhaps. Maybe. These flowers can be seen growing in various places, but they tend to cluster around areas with high levels of nature magic, such as around fairy springs. But notably, at the end of the game, after defeating Ganon, they appear to be everywhere. All over Hyrule Field. Could it perhaps have been Ganon's power slowly returning that was causing them to die out? Perhaps. But what this video is here mainly for is sharing with you an interesting tidbit about these flowers. As some of you who have seen my big Pokemon series know, I kinda have a thing for flowers. Since the ancient times, people have been giving various flowers various types of symbolism. It's called the language of flowers, and it's especially a thing in China and Japan. The Pokemon series in particular, ever since X and Y, has been utilizing it well, placing specific flowers in specific scenes and locations to get various messages across. Even in the anime, when Ash visits his mother, the flowers outside are various ones that all share the same meaning: motherhood and motherly love. The developers of Pokemon even somewhat confirmed that they have been using it when they said that the next Pokemon game will have a lot to do with flowers. It's even noted that a majority of the important characters in the game share their name with a flower in one language or another, and these flower symbolism match up perfectly with their personality traits. Like I said, it's a big thing in Japan, and Zelda is a Japanese game too, so I thought, maybe the Silent Princess has some sort of symbolism. So I did some digging, and as it turns out, the Silent Princess doesn't exactly exist. Not directly anyway, but perhaps Nintendo just changed the name. After all, chickens are called cuckoos in Hyrule. So after digging in the gardens some more, the closest real-world flower we have to the Silent Princess is this one. The Tulipa humilis alba corula aculata, Hakuna Matata. In English, that's the wild blue heart tulip, emphasis on wild, of course. And despite its name being tulip, it's actually a member of the lily family. The only big difference between the real flower and the Zelda one is that the real one has an extra petal, and the anthers are different colors, the anthers being this part of the flower. On the Silent Princess, they are yellow, while on the wild blue heart tulip, they are blue or white. But this specific color combination is extremely rare in the real world. So this truly is the closest flower we have. And just like the Silent Princess, the wild blue heart tulip are still technically considered to be wildflowers, and are quite rare. So what do these flowers symbolize according to various languages of flowers? Well, easy. Blue as a part of a flower symbolizes trust, and a calm, blissful peace. Considering that the Silent Princesses begin to flourish once peace and serenity are achieved, this fits right in. The white lily part of the flower symbolizes purity, innocence, hope, rebirth, and renewal. What's interesting is while talking about these flowers, Zelda mentions that all they can do is hope that they will come back. Also, them still being around while Ganon is raging can also act as a symbol of hope. White in general, in fact, is a symbol of purity. This is noted when Zelda goes to the top of Mount Lanayru on her 17th birthday to present herself to the goddesses. She dresses in all white. Doing this ritual was one of their last hopes to stop Ganon, and soon after arriving, she fails. Her dress becomes soiled, covered in dirt and mud. Hope is waning as their friends die off one by one. The blue trust and peace on the inside of white pure hope could be taken even deeper, perhaps to saying trust or faith in Zelda or Hylia will bring peace. Adding in the rebirth and renewal aspect, this peace could even be a new era of peace, a new era of Hyrule. And it is of course also noted that Link is resurrected, or reborn, given a second chance on new beginning, as white lilies symbolize. And what color do Link and Zelda wear in Breath of the Wild, as opposed to most incarnations of them? Blue, right in the center of that hope. Zelda had faith that Link would be reborn and bring peace. And to wrap this whole symbolism mumbo-jumbo together, it all takes place in a game that reimagines the Zelda franchise, giving it a new beginning perhaps. All sorts of developer interviews and notes point to this being the case, and any Zelda fan can tell you the same. Breath of the Wild has completely different gameplay from the rest of the Zelda titles, and the developers took a lot of inspiration from the very first Zelda, even directly recreating scenes from the concept art from the first Zelda in their conferences showing off the game. They wanted to recreate the feeling of playing the original Zelda, but in modern times. And that is exactly what they did. They went back to their roots to start a new style of Zelda games. It's a new beginning, a breath of fresh air, a breath of the wild, just as this ever-important flower that's on the logo to the game suggests. Or, it could just be a bunch of hoo-ha, but what do you think? Did Nintendo take the language of flowers into consideration when making this game, or is this all just a perfect coinky-dink? Let me know down below, and if you would like to support this channel in any way, links are down below, including a new one where you can directly support the channel without paying a cent. So, until next time, please remember to never stop using that noggin.